technically called reduced environmental stimulant therapy, but it's basically, in my mind, it's floating. And I wanted to share with you my first experience of float space. I've been doing a review in a local Doncaster, Sheffield, South Yorkshire, which is where I'm born and bred, but now live in the West Yorkshire, very sunny here. But we have a lot going on. It was worth floating over to Donny, as we call it, because I'd never tried float therapy. I'd heard something about it and I thought, oh, is it just another well-being fad, and what is it? And then the more I read up on it and realised that it's like a water therapy, and the water's so full of salt, like in the Dead Sea, that you're floating. And honestly, it's really tranquil. I thought I might feel quite like suffocated in the tanks, because you go into a room and then you've got the lights from the tank, colourful lights, and you just immerse yourself. Obviously, you strip off. You can either go to your swimming costume if you'd prefer, but it's better just to go full naked. But whatever makes you relax. And it really benefits meditation and mindfulness. Getting into the water, I was a bit nervous thinking, what is this? Because you have to, you don't have to pull the hatch down, a bit like on a sunbed. But it is better if you do. And you can keep the lights on if you wanted, but I chose to turn them off because I really wanted to challenge myself, because it was a 1 hour session and you get 5 minutes of music at the start and the end, and then 55 minutes of total silence. So you have to really float still with your thoughts, and try and bring your brainwaves to that theta brainwave state, that relaxed state. Because when we go into the busy world all the time, I know what I'm like with feeling social anxiety a lot of the time, or just I get anxious. I'm quite an introvert. So then I'm kind of like, I'm always writing like blogs and articles on my phone, because that's how I kind of escape the busy world. But sometimes I think then I'm getting distracted, and with my dyspraxic mind, I can have a number of things going on at any one time, and I like to have lots of stimulation. So then to be put into a tank where you have to have 55 minutes with nothing, just silence, and I even chose to turn out the lights because I wanted the full immersion, because I knew it was going to be a real challenge for me to go from like high energy, especially a daytime therapy, because it is great at night time because then you can start to wind down, but it was a real challenge because I still knew I had the school run to do, and had to deal with lots of stuff. So it was a really good practice, because all you could do was focus on the breath. And so often we neglect the breath. And after all, without the breath, we won't be here. And too often we neglect our breathing. And it really made me start to practice all the yoga I've been learning to teach, the yogic breathing, the diaphragmic breathing, and I was trying different techniques, the box breathing. You can check me out on Instagram at Mama May Blog for all of that. But it was just really amazing. So the water's like skin temperature. So it's not boiling, it's not really cold. I was worried it would be cold because I'm proper Nesh, which basically means I can't deal with the cold. But it's really good to reduce stress, improve mindfulness, consciousness, and also just to allow yourself to be in the moment. It's got loads of benefits for your mind and your body, helping in recovery from various different ailments, and just supporting your well-being, literally with the amount of salt supporting your well-being. But you just float back into it. You can even do a good stretch if you wanted, but I was trying to get into that deep meditative state. And the power I've always found of mindfulness and meditation is it's not necessarily just like you can go to sleep if you wanted to in it, but it's that conscious relaxation. So it's that when we're still conscious in relaxation. So it's a really, really good practice for me. And at first my mind was really, really busy because, I distract myself then by movement normally. And I was just laying there. And you start to do yourself a body scan, notice little aches and pains and just how busy your mind and body can feel and be all the time. So it was a great escape, and I actually liked being in the capsule in the end, because it just encloses you, and I think you need that when the world is so full of stuff. You literally couldn't, yes, I was doing a review, but I couldn't go on my phone to write my notes. I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, and you're just there. And you're just in stillness. So it was really, really incredible. I definitely recommend it. Go try and have a flow. And the opportunities for your well-being are endless. I really believe in trying different things that have worked. The owner, Pete, who are lovely, was inspired by Joe Rogan's podcast. And I love family business stories where he's gone from like a busy graphic designer, and then he's actually set up this float therapy. And it's very down to earth, is Doncaster, if you don't know it. And it's such a great hidden gem of a place. So definitely recommend it. And check out Float Space. I know they're on Instagram. But yeah, it made me feel like I could do at the end of a like really chilled yoga session. That kind of like you have an energy, but it's a lot calmer. So on that note, I'm going to try and start to wind down, study my yoga and go to sleep now. To try and get myself into that better habit of taking those mindful moments, because sometimes we don't realise how tired we are. So sending you so much peace, love and shimmies. I'd love to know if you've tried floating or flotation, or if you've even been in the Dead Sea. I still want to do that. I've never been. So yeah, I still want to get into the Dead Sea. Oh no, I have. I'm telling a lie. Yes, no, I have. Forgot about that. It's very salty. But yeah, so it's obviously good as well for healing, and made sure I got my belly bar in there. And then obviously have a shower after, but I think I've still got salt in my ears. So if anyone sees me looking with scabby ears, I promise it's just from the salt. But yeah, definitely recommend. Send you peace, love and floating shimmies.